What's up everybody, this is Limitz bringing you guys another high level Halo Wars video. This game is going to be against zzzzniiiight, Mythic, and Afterburn. And I know you guys are probably looking at the teams and thinking that this is a really lopsided matchup, but I roll with Jade and Harpy quite a bit, and we're a pretty solid 3v3 team together. We run WNSC, and I don't have very many videos of them, mainly because we play super late at night and we don't get a whole lot of good games. But we did get tested by Afterburn, Mythic, and zzzzniiiight, and we prevailed. So I'm gonna upload a video of this. So anyways, we are running Arby, Forge, Anders, and they are running Anders double Arby. I spawned in the front here, and I'm playing it really risky. And as you can see, I sent my scout straight over to Mythic, who is their frontier arbiter. And I want to see when he's going temple to see how much I can get away with early on. And I keep looking at the teams in the matchup, and I'm kind of trying to figure out how I want to play this, because usually I come up with the strategies off the ball when I'm playing. And I told Jade I'd click him, so I clicked him this game and went temple third, and I'm going to get away with it because Mythic decided to go temple second, and their other arbiter is going to be expanding. And you can tell that they both expanded by the white boxes. Anyways, you see that Mythic rage runs straight over with the suicide grunt, and now it is possible to stop this temple, but he's not going to do it. As you can see, I get my arbiter out. So Mythic is actually not in that great of shape right now, and I'm actually in very good defensive shape here. And a Forge with a click is going to be a monster on this map. A lot of people are not very appreciative of Forge as of late. A lot of people just play Anders. I really enjoy a Forge on this map. So anyways, right here, a little mistake that Mythic is really doing is he's not focusing on my ghost at all. He's not even going to rage down my ghost. That ghost is actually doing quite a little bit of damage to his leader. And that's one thing I like to do when I play defense with my Arby's. I like to use my ghost. That way it's going to force him to use a little bit of money, or they're going to take shots like this, and I'm going to pecker away at quite a bit of his health. And I also push early Citadel here. One tactic I like to do with my arbiter is push an early Citadel, get some units out to play defense on an arbiter or banshees. And now you can say an arbiter can easily just go to the front of my base and stop my arbiter, or stop my summits. But what I'm going to be doing with an arbiter at the front of my base hitting summits is my grunt can just come straight out of the middle of my base and right into the arbiter in situations like that. So in this situation, I'm just going to go supply pad since my eco is pretty bad, and hopefully just force Mythic to hit whatever pad's coming up in the front so I can shove a grunt into him. And since he's not going to be doing that, he's still just walking circles, I'm going to get a little bit unorthodox here, and I'm going to base right next to Mythic and see if they catch it. Now I'm not sure quite what happens here, mainly because I'm expecting to lose my temple. I'm unable to rage that grunt. That grunt does go straight into my temple. Another grunt, as you can see, just came out of Mythic's base, and it's going to be porting through. And I'm under the impression that he's going to ram that right into my temple, and I'm going to lose it. So the first thing I'm going to try and do here is, this base is almost complete. I want to shield it as quickly as possible. I come back to my Arby. Now this is where I got a little bit lucky. I caught a break, I guess. He tried to throw that grunt into my Arby rather than my temple. So I am able to get a shield on that secondary base right next to Mythic, and my arbiter also doesn't take the grunt. As for what's going on around the map besides my defense here, is Willful Harpy went around and actually beat zzzzniiiight over at his reactors, and that forces them to go after Jade with our reactors, and Jade's just trying to take our reactors with flamers at this point, and I believe that Afterburn is over there fighting with him, so Jade is falling back with his flamers right now because there's a combination of zzzzniiights, Warthogs, and Afterburn's Arbiter over there. So once again, I'm just kind of throwing up bases, trying to make Mythic confused. And right now, Mythic, what he's doing is upgrading his pads and setting up his eco so he can go into air himself or teching his Arbiter up a little bit more. Unfortunately, though, I'm on 2 bases, and although I don't really have any upgraded supply pads, I'm probably out economying Mythic right now pretty badly. And so Jade is pinging over there that there was an Arby in the vicinity, and Harpy is actually going to go up there with his Gosshogs. He does have Goss now, and he doesn't find anything, so he's going to turn around and just go straight for that very back base and hit that just like any typical Anders would on this map. Once again, I do a really good job here of basically shutting down Mythic all game. So I'm going to rage him out, make him recall. As you can see, Harpy is hitting Afterburn's back base. And zzzzniiight turned around and switched from hogs to tanks this game. And I think that was because he was very unsuccessful with his hogs early game. I think Harpy and Jade took out most of zzznight's hogs, so I'm going to be rage running up here, and this is very key because although they did take Harpy out of this reactor and they ended up grabbing it, I killed zzznight's extra infantry, and he is sending a tank over to Harpy's other reactor, and since my Arbiter's in the vicinity, he's actually not going to attempt to take him out of that hook anymore. Also, what's going on at this point is I'm rage running over to help out Harpy, and then he kind of just calls me off. He says that he has it under control. He killed Afterburn's Arbiter. And there are tanks over there, but I'm pretty sure he just does a good job of avoiding them, and then it's to the point where Mythic gets a heal and is up there raging his hogs, so we're not going to be able to do any more damage at this point. So it looks like Afterburn does have a little bit of air. I'm going back to that reactor and I'm going to be porting in a suicide grunt to take it. And this is going to be how I would get vampires basically, which is your main goal when you're playing single covey. I see the tanks are coming to take me out of this reactor. I'm going to kind of just fall back a little bit when I see that that suicide grunt is about to get in the reactor. So I'm going to try and rage that grunt when I hit the brick wall, and I'm going to be unsuccessful here. It would have been nice if I could have stopped Mythic from getting Tech 2, but I'm going to be unable to do that. And although I don't have vampires, Warthogs, especially when they're Goss, is very good against Banshees. And as you can see, Jade has Spartan Power Turret to zzznight's Canny, and we are pushing up on Mythic's base. And I'm pretty sure that they just found out that I based next to Mythic, and that's a little bit embarrassing on their half, but looks like Mythic is teching his Arbiter at this point and rage running in. That was probably his Tech 2 that he was teching right there, and it looks like Jade put a stop to it. And I'm unable to get vampires, so I'm just going to rebuild my Arby for now and try and help him out. I did build a turret on my base there that's going to be for air support. I did get Citadel just in case we do get pushed back a little bit. And here's something that's really crucial. zzzzniiight has power turret now, and he's rolling in to hit Jade's army. And although my Arby is not even tech, I don't even have Fiendish at this point. I'm going to rage over and occupy zzzzniiight just so we can ensure that we kill Mythic's base. Because it doesn't matter if I lose my Arby right there. I can just rebuild him and we can play defense on my shielded base now. And just to like reiterate what I was explaining right there, is because we were going to get that base regardless due to its health. It was more important that we kept Jade's tank army alive instead of letting zzzzniiight take out 2 or 3 tanks probably while we focus down the base. So we are now pushing them back, and we see that ironically Mythic double based right next to me there on the mini map. That's kind of shocking. And we are losing our tank numbers really badly here, so Jade is going to have to drop a D-bomb. zzzzniiight does have quite a few red bar tanks, so Harpy is going to come in and help Jade out. And I don't know why I'm stasising with my 1 vampire. It'd be much more convenient for me to just fly it around and let the needler shots do damage. But the game is pretty much over at this point, and usually when games are winding down, I feel like I become a lazy player, so it's whatever. So I did end up getting Tech 2, and I'm going to steadily be single pumping vampires. And once again I'm going to go up here and start raging at zzzzniiight's tanks with my no tech Arby. I do have Defiant though. And it's not so much that I kill all 3 of these tanks. I'm going to recall before that happens. I'm going to take a canister here. But what this does is basically makes zzzzniiight use his canister shells on my Arby, and Harpy can just roll around with hogs and not have to worry about canny shots, so that's good. So since zzzzniiight is actually going to be following Harpy all the way back to his main base and Afterburn's back bases, Jade and I are going to take this opportunity to go take Mythic out of the game. His base is right next to mine. He did get Citadel on it, but we do have quite a bit of power turret, and there's nothing they can really do to stop the army that's down there. And once again, I didn't really have to make that many vampires this game. I don't know why Afterburn didn't have a whole lot of banshees. But I'm going to start focusing on teching my Arbiter. As you can see, Harpy is taking them out of the reactor. And I'm surprised that Afterburn really didn't have a whole lot of Banshees and an unteched Arbiter, really. He might have had Fiendish, but as you can see, he was on 2 bases and didn't even have Vicious, so... And here comes the final tank battle between Jade and zzzzniiiight. And I just get Vicious Blades. We're going to throw all of our units into this battle here. And I really don't need to be raging. It looks like we have this under control. And that's going to start the resigns. So I hope you guys enjoyed this game, and have a great day.